Starting our countdown at number 25 is a coaching juggernaut at the Division III level, Rick Willis. 21 seasons he spent walking the sidelines of the Wartburg football team and turned them into a dynasty within the IIAC, or the Modern American Rivers Conference. In those 21 years, he never finished lower than fourth in the conference, won 11 conference titles, leading to 11 playoff appearances for the Knights. 5 times he was named the Conference Coach of the Year. Lost in his lore is the fact that in 2003, he took over to coach the Wartburg softball team for one single season and led them to a 38-10 record and a trip to the D3 College World Series. He retired with 185 wins and has the second best career win percentage in conference history. Rick Willis is our number 25 college coach of the century. And number 24 has been a staple up in Fayette, Heath Grimm. He just finished his 25th season as Upper Iowa's wrestling coach. 19 of those years, the Peacocks have finished in the top 20 nationally, and 4 times they've been a top 4 finisher. 16 times they finished in the top 8 at national duels. He's coached 60 All-Americans and 8 national champions, 4-time conference champion and 2-time national coach of the year. Heath Grimm is our number 24 college coach of the century. Number 23 on our list is a long-time great within Cedar Rapids, within the ARC, within Division III sports, and within the tennis community, men's tennis coach Eric Rogers. Eric's been with the Hawkeyes since 1989, and over the last 36 years, he's won 17 regular season conference titles and another 13 tournament titles. 12 conference MVPs have come under the tutelage of Eric Rogers. He coached both the men's and women's teams for his first 25 years at but he's been focusing just on the men's side since 2014. 17 men's All-Americans, 10 women's All-Americans. He's won over 800 matches as the Hawkeyes head coach and has brought them to 14 NCAA tournaments, a legend in college tennis circles, and the man who turned into a tennis school. Eric Rogers is our number 23 college coach of the century. And number 22, maybe the youngest coach on this list, Chris Winter from Wartburg. Chris has only been the head coach of the Knights since 2021, but in just 4 seasons, he has raised the bar to a whole new level in Waverly. In 4 years, 43 wins and only 7 losses, 3 American Rivers Conference titles under his belt. 3 times he's been named the Conference Coach of the Year, and in 2022, he was named the Division III National Coach of the Year. Before he became head coach, the Knights had never been to the national semifinals, and in just 4 years, he's already brought them to the semis twice. He's already coached 4 conference MVPs, 24 all-conference players, and 15 All-Americans. A man with an already incredible resume and still a lot of career in front of him. Chris Winter is our number 22 college coach of the century. Number 21 on our list, and already the 3rd man from Wartburg to crack the top 25, former baseball coach Joel Holst. He began his run at Wartburg in 1996 and saw unparalleled success over the next 2.5 decades. He won 16 regular season conference titles, including 12 in a row from 1997 to 2008. He won another 11 conference tournament titles and led the Knights to 14 NCAA tournaments and a pair of trips to the Division III College World Series. There was a period of 23 straight seasons where he never finished lower than 4th in the conference. 11 times he was named the Conference Coach of the Year, coached 12 conference MVPs and 6 All-Americans, and retired with nearly 900 career wins. Joel Holst is our number 21 college coach of the century. And jumping into the top 20 is Iowa field hockey coach Lisa Salucci. A former All-American player for the Hawks, Lisa's coached Iowa over the last 11 seasons, keeping them in the conversation as annually one of the best teams in the country. She was the first coach in Big Ten history to win back-to-back Coach of the Year honors. She brought Iowa to 6 NCAA tournaments, 4 Elite Eights, and made it to the Final Four in 2021. In only 11 years, she coached 20 All-Americans, and they spent nearly 8 seasons straight ranked in the nation's top 15. Lisa Salucci is our number 20 college coach of the century. For number 19 on our College Coach of the Century countdown, we travel all the way north to Decorah for longtime Luther softball coach Renee Hartle. Renee is in the midst of her 24th season with the Norse. 730 career wins is the 11th most of any active head coach at the Division III level, and it's top 25 all time. In 24 years, Renee has led Luther to 12 NCAA tournaments and 5 trips to the Division III College World Series. That includes a third-place finish in 2018. She's won a combined 13 conference titles and has been named the Conference Coach of the Year 5 times. She's coached 27 All-Americans. Renee follows an unprecedented softball legacy at Luther. In 57 years, they've only had 2 head coaches. And Renee keeps plenty busy up in Decorah. She's also the school's athletic director, and she spent 6 years serving on national softball committees. A coach widely respected by her peers nationwide, Renee Hartle is our number 19 college coach of the century. And number 18, another coach who's made hay at the Division III level, Loras women's soccer coach Matt Pucci. Matt spent time on staff with both the men's and women's programs at Loras, but in 9 years as head coach of the women's squad, he's been to 7 NCAA tournaments, 4 trips to the Sweet 16, and in 2021, an appearance in the Division III Final Four. In only 9 years, he's already won 6 Conference Coach of the Year awards and is an 8-time conference champion. A lone second-place finish in the ARC is the low mark in his career. In less than a decade, he's already won 136 matches at Loras and still, presumably, has more in the tank. Matt Pucci is our number 18 college coach of the century. Number 17 on our list, a legend in Cedar Falls, the walk-on from walk-on, Mark Farley. This guy bleeds purple and gold. He played in the Dome in the mid-'80s. He was an assistant for the Panthers for 10 years and was anointed as head coach in 2001, a position he would hold for 24 years. Over that time, he won a Missouri Valley record, 183 games, won 7 conference titles, led the Panthers to 13 FCS playoff appearances, including 3 trips to the national semifinals and a finish in the national title game in 2005. He coached 10 players who were drafted into the NFL and dozens more who have spent time on NFL rosters. A 2-time Conference Coach of the Year and the 2007 National Coach of the Year, Mark Farley is our number 17 college coach of the century. Number 16, a rising star in the college coaching community, Brian Peterson. Brian, a former Kirkwood and Iowa State player, took over at Kirkwood when he was just 25 years old. He was only the Eagles' head coach for 6 seasons, but in that time he won 2 national titles, won over 150 games, coached 4 All-Americans, and he was a 2-time regional and national coach of the year. Just a couple months ago, he was named the new head coach at South Dakota State, a young coach with a long career in front of him. Brian Peterson is our number 16 college coach of the century. We go to Cedar Falls for number 15 on our list, just finishing his 18th season as UNI softball coach, Ryan Jacobs. Coach Jake took over a program that had been a perennial basement dweller in the MVC and turned the Panthers into a yearly conference contender. They've won 5 conference championships and made 3 trips to the NCAA tournament. 6 times he and his staff have been named the Conference Coaching Staff of the Year in the Valley. Outside of his first season, there's been only 1 year where the Panthers have finished lower than 5th in the final MVC standings. And since 2021, they've never finished lower than 3rd. 5 out of the last 6 years, he's coached the conference MVP, a run of success no other team has ever seen in the MVC. UNI's all-time softball wins leader, Ryan Jacobs, is our number 15 college coach of the century. At number 14, we go a few miles north of Cedar Falls for Wartburg women's basketball coach Bob Amsberry. In 19 seasons with the Knights, Bob's teams have only seen 1 losing record. And over the last 10 years, they have never finished lower than 3rd in the conference. Under Amsberry, Wartburg has won 7 conference titles. He's led Wartburg to 9 NCAA tournaments, 5 Sweet 16s, 4 Elite 8s, and 3 trips to the Division III Final Four. He's a 6-time Conference Coach of the Year, 5-time finalist for the National Coach of the Year, and in 2018, he was given the Pat Summitt Trophy as the Division III Coach of the Year. In just under 2 decades, he has established himself as one of the most respected Division III coaches in the country. Bob Amsberry is our number 14 college coach of the century. Number 13 on our list is another Division III coaching legend, former Loras soccer coach Dan Rothert. Dan spent 22 seasons at Loras, remarkably spending 18 of those coaching both the men's and women's programs. With the Duhawk men, he went to 12 NCAA tournaments, 5 Final Fours, and a trip to the Division III title game in 2015. He won 12 conference titles, was a 7-time Conference Coach of the Year, and the 2015 National Coach of the Year. But that's just on the men's side. In his 18 years with the Duhawk women's team, Dan won another 9 conference titles with 11 NCAA tournaments and 3 trips to the Sweet 16, and won another 7 Conference Coach of the Year awards. A winner of over 600 combined games with Loras, Dan Rothert is our number 18 College Coach of the Century. And number 12 leads a team that Gary Rima dubbed Jake and the Giant Killers, UNI head coach Ben Jacobson. Ben took over for the Panthers in 2006, and over a near 20-year career, he's turned the Purple and Gold into one of the best mid-major programs in America. They've won a combined 8 Missouri Valley Conference championships in 19 seasons. Coach Jake has brought UNI to 4 NCAA tournaments. He's got a 3-1 record in first-round games. And behind one of the greatest moments in NCAA tournament history, he and the Panthers reached the Sweet 16 in 2010, something no other team in school history has ever done. His 209 MVC wins are the most in conference history. He's coached 11 Valley first-team honorees and 4 MVC Players of the Year, a 5-time Missouri Valley Coach of the Year, and the class of the MVC. Ben Jacobson is our number 12 College Coach of the Century. Number 11 on our countdown, one of the best Division I women's basketball coaches the nation has ever known, Lisa Bluter. The product of Linn-Mar and UNI, Lisa has spent her entire playing and coaching career in the state of Iowa. First at St. Ambrose, then Drake, then the University of Iowa, where she led the Hawkeyes for 24 seasons. She won 2 Big Ten regular season titles, 5 Big Ten tournament titles, led the Hawkeyes to 18 NCAA tournaments, 5 Sweet 16s, 3 Elite Eights, and closed her career with 2 straight trips to the national championship game. A model of consistency, Lisa's Hawkeye teams only missed the postseason once in her entire 24-year career in Iowa City. She was a 3-time Big Ten Coach of the Year and was named the Naismith National Coach of the Year in 2019. And she coached 7 players who went on to play in the WNBA. Nearly 900 career wins on her resume, Lisa Bluter is our number 11 College Coach of the Century. And entering the top 10, UNI wrestling coach Doug Schwab. A product of the Hawkeyes himself, Doug took over the Panther train in 2010, and over the last 15 seasons has turned Northern Iowa into surely the best mid-major wrestling program, and in general, one of the most elite teams in the country. Over the last decade and a half, he's coached 22 All-Americans, 23 conference champions. His teams have finished in the top 20 at the NCAA tournament 8 times, including a 9th place finish this past season. He's brought almost 90 wrestlers to the national tournament and coached 2 individual national champions, a 2-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, and this past season named the National Coach of the Year. Doug Schwab is our number 10 College Coach of the Century. Number 9 on the countdown is one of the greats in college volleyball history, UNI's Bobby Peterson. She just completed her 25th season with the Panthers, and from the late 90s until now has kept them in the national conversation nearly every season. She had 1 season as interim coach in 1997, then took the reins of the program for good in 2001. From the start, she's been as successful within the conference as any coach in America. She won the Valley Tournament her first 3 seasons as coach, and in 25 years has won 12 regular season titles and 12 tournament titles. She's brought UNI to 18 NCAA tournaments, has won 12 NCAA matches, and led UNI to a pair of Sweet 16 appearances. In 25 years, she's had 21 seasons of 20-plus wins and 5 seasons of 30 or more wins. She's a 9-time Valley Coach of the Year, and in 2002 was named the National Coach of the Year. She's coached 15 Conference Players of the Year and 16 All-Americans. A winner of over 600 career matches and a staple in Cedar Falls. Bobby Peterson is our number 9 College Coach of the Century. And number 8, one of the best track coaches in Division III right now, Loras' Matt Jones. Matt took over the Duhawks in 2013, and in the 12 years under his leadership, Loras athletes have won over 150 conference titles, over 170 All-Americans, and 37 national champions. Before Matt became head coach, the Duhawks had never won a national team title in any sport. Now, Loris is a track dynasty. The women have won 3 outdoor national titles, 2 indoor national titles, and are a regular in the nation's top 5. He's an 11-time ARC Conference Coach of the Year, and 5 times he's been named the National Coach of the Year. A star in the Division III track world, Matt Jones is our number 8 College Coach of the Century. Number 7 on the countdown, and the top UNI coach on our list is former Panther track and field coach Chris Bucknam. Bucky became UNI's men's head coach in 1984 and stayed in Cedar Falls for 24 years, coaching the men's team until 2008 and coaching both the men's and women's teams for his final 11 years with the Panthers, a number that few coaches in America could ever rival. Chris Bucknam was named the MVC Coach of the Year 33 times. He coached 85 All-Americans and 3 national champions. Between men's and women's indoor and outdoor track, he won 20 conference championships and coached over 200 individual MVC champions. After leaving UNI, Bucknam went to Arkansas, where he's won a team national title. He's been a 2-time National Coach of the Year and 32-time SEC Coach of the Year. One of the all-time great track coaches in NCAA history, Chris Bucknam is our number 7 College Coach of the Century. And number 6, leading the swarm for over a quarter century, Kirk Ferentz, a winner of over 200 college football games. Kirk enters the 2025 season on the cusp of setting the record for most Big Ten coaching wins. The longest tenured coach in FBS football, Captain Kirk has won 2 Big Ten titles and led the Hawkeyes to 3 Big Ten championship games. He's a 4-time Big Ten Coach of the Year and 2-time National Coach of the Year. He's won 10 bowl games, the most of any Big Ten coach, and in 26 seasons has only missed the postseason 4 times. He's coached 16 consensus All-Americans and 94 NFL draft picks. Consider, as of today, there is only one native Iowan who's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's Kurt Warner. But 20 years from now, we'll likely see guys like Marshall Yonda, George Kittle, Brandon Sheriff, Tristan Wirfs, maybe 3 or 4 more at least. A man who has not only led the Hawkeyes to college football prominence, but has helped Iowa kids across the state realize their NFL dreams. Kirk Ferentz is our number 6 College Coach of the Century. Number 5 on our countdown remains the only coach who has ever led the Hawkeye softball team to the NCAA tournament, the great Gail Blevins. Gail came to Iowa in 1988, and for 23 years, she turned the Hawkeyes into a softball powerhouse. She remains, so far, the only Iowa softball coach to see any semblance of postseason success. She won 5 Big Ten regular season titles and 2 tournament titles, led Iowa to 16 appearances in the NCAA tournament and 4 trips to the Women's College World Series. 3 times in her career, she had seasons of 50-plus wins, and in 23 years, she never had a losing record. At the time of her retirement, she was the 2nd winningest coach in college softball history. Gail Blevins is our number 5 College Coach of the Century. And number 4 is another coach who's in the business of building dynasties, Wartburg track and field coach Marcus Newsome. Since taking over in 1998 between the men's and women's indoor and outdoor programs, Marcus has led the Knights to 61 conference championships and 9 national titles. He's coached over 600 All-Americans and 38 individual national champions. Marcus has been named the National Coach of the Year 13 times, and he is a 57-time winner of the ARC Conference Coach of the Year award. An absurd amount of hardware has collected on this man's trophy case over the last 27 years. Marcus Newsome is our number 4 College Coach of the Century. Number 3, the head of Hawkeye wrestling since 2006, Tom Brands. In the last 18 seasons, the Hawkeyes have never finished lower than 5th at the NCAA championships. They've won 4 national titles under Brands, including a 3-peat between 2008 and 2010. And there's another 6 top 3 finishes with Brands in charge, along with 6 Big Ten titles. He's won 291 duels meets at Iowa and only lost 28. He's coached 14 individual national champions, 26 Big Ten champions, and 109 All-Americans. A 5-time Big Ten Coach of the Year and 3-time National Coach of the Year, Tom Brands is our number 3 College Coach of the Century. And number 2 has to be shared by a pair of men who continue to put Wartburg at the top of the national podium nearly every year, Jim Miller and Eric Keller. Jim started at Wartburg in the early 90s and coached the Knights to 10 Division III national titles, 7 national duels titles, and 21 straight Iowa Conference championships. He won 377 duels matches, only losing 37 in over 2 decades. He's coached 37 individual national champions and over 140 All-Americans. He was an 11-time Conference Coach of the Year, 5-time Division III Coach of the Year, and twice was named the best coach in college wrestling across all divisions. After 3 seasons of co-head coaching, Miller fully turned the reins over to Keller, who's seen nothing but dominance in his decade-plus of coaching at Wartburg. He has won 10 Division III team titles, 9 duels titles, and 13 conference titles. Keller has coached 24 national champions and 100 All-Americans at Wartburg. The 2 coaches who have led the program that literally has set the standard of excellence in college wrestling, Jim Miller and Eric Keller, share the position of our number 2 college coaches of the century. 37 years ago, Kim Moole began his career at Kirkwood, and the school and the women's basketball program has never been the same. It took just 8 years for he and the Eagles to win their first national title in 1997.
Back then, there were no cell phones.
Yeah.
So we won the thing, and you're sitting in the gym. We were in Maryland, Hagerstown. So we're sitting there, and I'm like, we just won it. Who do we tell? I had to go to the payphone, call my wife, say, hey, we just won the thing.
In the subsequent years, more national titles have fallen in Kim and Kirkwood's wake. 9 national championships he's won in 36 seasons as coach, a number that only UConn's Gino Auriemma could best across all divisions of women's basketball.
The consistency of what we've done has been the big thing, because I think it's really hard to maintain consistency at this level for a long time. And people that do it know what I'm talking about.
There are very few who have done it quite like Kim Moole. Over 36 seasons, he sports an overall record of 1,078 wins and only 173 losses. He's won 86% of the games he's ever coached. His win total is 4th most among all coaches in the history of all women's basketball. And coaching at a junior college, Kim's focus has always been on finding the right kind of kids.
You got to get the right kids. If I recruit a kid, I want those kids to want to go on and play. We would like kids that would like to go on to the higher level, because it motivates them more to play hard for me. Yeah. New thing this year, you can dribble.
A 4-time National Coach of the Year and a 23-time Regional Coach of the Year, there have been plenty of chances for Kim to go out and seek a bigger opportunity, either in the men's game or at a higher level of women's basketball. But a love of his job has kept Kim at Kirkwood for nearly 40 years.
1, 2, 3, go!
There's a lot of people that I see going on Highway 30 or 380 in the morning that aren't real happy going to work. And, I've enjoyed coming to work every day. And I think that's a big thing. I tell my kids, if you're going to do something for 30 years, you better damn well like what you're doing.
And for 36 seasons, the success is still at nearly an all-time high. Just this past year, his Eagles set a JUCO Division II record with 54 consecutive wins, reaching the team's 23rd national tournament. In 36 years, he's coached 37 All-Americans, and his own rough estimate is that he's sent about 150 players on to Division I basketball. He holds every conceivable record at his level, and in 2011 was inducted into the NJCAA Hall of Fame. A man who's done it all and still has more in front of him. Kim Moole is our number 1 college coach of the century.